Hey guys, how you doing? It's Voodoo here and welcome to episode 23 in my Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Emblem editor series. Today we're taking a look at the Triton logo. It's absolutely awesome, I love it. I've got a set of Triton AX Pros myself. I use them all the time when I'm gaming, absolutely love them, awesome headset, and it looks excellent on the gun. It really fits in with the Black Ops 2 colours and I think it is a really nice emblem to do. A lot of fiddling about, a few tweaks and bits and pieces, so what I always suggest is watch the video all the way through and then you can go start at the beginning again and work your way through nice and steady and go from there. Also, people have asked me if I can slow the videos down. They take on average an hour for me to make, so I edit a lot of the mistakes out, some stay in there, and the emblem that you see at the end of this video is the emblem that is the exact emblem. There's no difference in that, so if I slowed them down, we'd be sat here for at least half an hour, and that isn't going to happen. So I simply couldn't store them videos on my hard drive. But anyway, what we're going to need to do for this emblem is you're going to need some rectangles. Now what you want to do is freescale the rectangles up to the right sort of shape, copy and paste one over to the other side, and then freescale the other rectangles to the top of the T. Just hit the mic at the top of the T, and then copy and paste that one across, very straightforward. Then I put a rounded square on the background, turn that black. Then we grab the kernel and we freescale it up so it sits nicely on the screen, and that's going to be the beginning of our wings effect. Now I have based this logo on a poster I got in my room loosely. It's a little bit similar, but basically there wasn't enough layers to do an exact replica, but I like the look of this one and I was really pleased with the way it comes out. So basically we grabbed some golf flags and added 3 either side. I think, yeah, it's 3, and that's an extension on the wings. Now I have put another gold flag underneath as a depth sort of shadow. You don't need to put that in, that's completely up to you. If you're struggling for layers, but later on in the video I have to delete a couple of things to put other stuff in, but nevertheless, if you're struggling for layers or you want to add less detail, then you don't have to put that in, that's completely up to you. So then basically it's a case of copy and pasting over to the other side the wings and the extension on the wings, and that's as simple as that. Keeps it nice and symmetrical. You can just line them up exactly where you need them to be. So then I grabbed another rectangle, freescaled that down, sat that in the middle, and then that's to cover up the head. I don't want the head on there, don't like that. So very straightforward. Then we grabbed one of these shapes. Now this is a shape I haven't used before, and it is called an asterisk full. It's in tools, and you put that in the middle there, down the bottom, and have a sort of brighter orange than the actual kernel, and then put another one on top and turn that into a dark sort of grey. Then we grab the star, put the star over the top of that. I do make that smaller in a little while, so I'm just raising up the T now, just to get it more sort of, I thought that when it was low down, you can keep it low if you want, but for me when it was low it just seemed like that was just being obscured too much by the kernel for that to really be seen as Triton. But obviously I just make these how I see fit, and you guys can tweak them how you want. Now what I've done there is I've grabbed the golf flag no wind, and I'm using that to sort of round off the shoulders of the bird as such, really. Again, you don't need to put them in, but I've added them in as a little bit of extra detail just to smooth it out a little bit. It just gives it that more sort of a better look, in my opinion. That's why I've put them on there. But I've also shadowed that as well, like I said to you before. You don't need to put the shadows in, but I did. And then what I'm doing to outline the image is I grab 3 rounded squares. I always have trouble because a rounded square sounds like a contradiction, but rounded square, and then I put 3 there to thicken the border up and make it look really cool. Then we grabbed the kiss, laid that over the top, and made that about sort of, I don't know, about 30% opacity. It's completely up to you how you want to go. Left it white but turned the opacity down, so turn it down as much as you want to make it look good. Now I grabbed a couple more kisses here to round off the edges so the reflection doesn't go over the edges of the border, and I changed that later on in the video and used just a single curved line and bridge it across the two, you'll see, just to save a layer. But it's up to you guys. Like I say, if you don't put some of them shadow and effects in there, you won't have a problem with layers. It'll be all hunky-dory. So while we're at it, I'll just say to you guys, if you could like the video, I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot and does sort of make me feel good about the video that I've made, and if I don't see lots of likes, I think I've done a bad job. So feel free to hit the like button and help me out. That would be absolutely awesome. But then back to the emblem. What we're doing here is we're just fiddling around with the wings, just trying to get them nice and symmetrical, looking really nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the bird's feet at the bottom, so I didn't like the look of them, it looked messy, and put a curved line in, sort of make it nice and big and fat, and that sort of curves around the bottom there and gives it a nice rounded effect at the bottom of the bird. So it's looking really nice. We're starting to get towards the end of the image, but we've got a little way to go yet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab a copy of the kernel, lay that on top of the other kernel and change it to a sort of dark grey, and drop the opacity down to around about 30%, and that's going to give you a sort of shadow effect. And then I copy and paste the golf flags that I've made for the wing extensions and drop the opacity on them down to exactly the same, so it looks like a sort of shadowed effect on the wing, and takes a little bit of faffing about. And the other big issue with this is what I've mentioned in some of the other videos, is when you come out of the emblem editor, what you see in the lobby is a little bit different to what you see in the actual emblem editor itself. The shapes move, maybe only sort of like half a millimeter and stuff like that, but that's enough to, if you're joining things up, that's enough to make a gap and sort of like a tear in the image. So make sure that all the time when you've done the emblem, you back right out to the lobby, look what it looks like on your player card, and then you can adjust accordingly. So while this is all happening, obviously this is episode 23, there's another previous 22 episodes. At the end of this video I've changed the sort of outro a little bit, so you've got a couple of videos you can click on, feel free to hit them. Also there's my Facebook and my Twitter on there, feel free to follow me on there. I post all the videos on Facebook and stuff, so if ever you miss them in the sub boxes, then you'll always see them if you hit the like button on Facebook and subscribe on Twitter, and hit the follow on Twitter. So also I do a lot of tweeting throughout the day of various bits and pieces, stuff you might be interested in and stuff you might not, so feel free to check me out on there, that would be really cool. Also the playlist is in the description, feel free to check that out, that will take you straight to all the other videos. And also in the comments, if you want to leave any emblems you'd like me to have a go at, I'll have a go at them if I can. Some are not possible, some are, and I shall do what I can. So you can see there I put that curved line at the top and got rid of the kisses because I was one gold flag short on the wing. So once I've done that, that gives me the layer I wanted, and then it's just a case of fiddling around with the shadow and getting all the opacity to match. And once you've done that, then that is absolutely spot on, so quite simple. We're getting towards the end of the image here, guys. I'm really pleased with the way it's come out. The shine on the top there really sets it off. I think that looks absolutely spot on and looks awesome on the gun. So some of my previous emblems are about to pop up on the screen there. You can see what I've done. They're in the playlist. Feel free to check them out. I love that Feed Me one. That's really cool. But yeah, as always, thanks ever so much for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'll see you in the next video. See you later, guys.